Hello and welcome to Casting Roles. This is a channel where we play D&D and other TTRPGs. Thanks for joining us. If you are enjoying this show, or if this is your first time joining us, you can find us on social media. We're on Casting Roles on Twitter and at Casting Roles ILM on Facebook. And we have a website where you can get all our information, castrolls.com. If you are a returning viewer, then you will notice that today looks a little bit different. We're going to play through our very first one-shot today, and you might also notice that I'm not in the Dungeon Master screen. That's being handed off to Rob for this game, who wants to bring some of his love from the original 1E era of Dungeons & Dragons to the 5th edition. So what we're going to do really quickly is go around and introduce ourselves just for new viewers and also because we have a guest joining us for today's stream. And so I'll start off. You guys all know me. I'm Josh. I'm the Dungeon Master of the main campaign, but I will be playing today, which is super exciting. Grace, you want to go ahead?
I'm Grace.
Hi, Grace.
I play Marv normally, but not today.
Whoever's next.
Atwood.
I'm Atwood. You'll know me as former of Kaimana from the regular campaign.
I'm Rob. I normally play Saurus, but I will be our retro dungeon master today.
I'm Ronnie. I normally play Abel in the Ticket Takers.
I'm new here.
Yes.
My name is Jay. I am
So
popping
excited.
in today for the one shot. I think I've DM'd for all of you before in one thing or another, but I'm excited to play with y'all.
Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, this is a lot of fun. And so I'm going to pass the torch over to Rob in just a moment, but we're going to go ahead and start our one-shot show.
Welcome to our one-shot. Just a little bit of background. I started playing Dungeons & Dragons back when it was from the White Box, which was pre-AD&D, which was considered 1E now. And I played through 1E, and then I skipped all the way to 5E. So I've skipped 2, 3, 3.5, and 4, and Pathfinder. So the game is vastly different than but just for funsies, I thought I'd bring back one of my favorite modules from back in the day and subject some other people to it. So I've converted T1, the Village of Hommlet, which is one of the classic AD&D adventures, into 5e, and so we're going to give it a go. It's notable because it was one of the, back in 1e, most modules were dungeon delves, and Hommlet was really one of the first ones substantial roleplay, and so I thought it would be a fun mix for this group. So having said that, let us get started. Basic setup is that each of our adventurers has been contracted by a factor and hired to come to the Village of Hommlet to help out with some kind of bandit problem. And so we pick up on the road where we have a tabaxi walking along, and he's on his way to Hommlet from Ostberg, where he was hired. And as he's walking, he sees ahead of him a short figure, and because he's bigger, he gains ground. And so you end up catching up to Atwood's character. So if y'all will take it away. And Atwood just froze.
Oh, Atwood froze. That's good. That's a good point to phrase. Totally. I'll cut it there.
So where we left off was Twine was walking down the road and came upon this dwarven fellow in front of him.
So Twine's gonna hold back for a moment, and I just want to see if there's anything shiny.
Oh, another shiny.
Atwood, describe your character.
I don't know that you're going to see anything shiny, Josh, but
Super.
this is a dwarf who's 4 foot 11, but 230 pounds, and He's shirtless and absolutely jacked.
Nice.
He's wearing, like I said, traveling pants. He's got a backpack on. On his back, he's kind of got a couple of tools. Like his pack is just overflowing with all kinds of odds and ends in it, but it's all very practical, utilitarian stuff. Except for, like, you can see tucked out of like the back this red and white striped fabric.
Is the fabric frayed at all?
No, it's actually pretty pristine compared to everything else on it.
Okay. So Twine will like walk towards the dwarf, and then kind of once the dwarf is maybe 5 feet away, just match his pacing very closely, but not like say anything to him. Just walking behind him.
I've got pretty low passive perception, so I'm gonna assume I don't know.
Roll. Give me a perception roll. So let's see whether he truly is clueless or not.
All right, first roll of the night. 9.
Nope.
Not, no. And so for a
So we
moment,
have.
like, yeah, Twine, it literally like walking in your steps, and then like if you like stop and whatever, like Twine stops and waits for a moment, and then like when you get moving, he's gonna follow you. And at some point, like, we'll get really close to your pack and just see if there's anything made of metal that's loose. So I can roll like an investigation check as I'm following behind him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Unless you want to give it to him, Atwood.
I'm just thinking, like, it would definitely have his bag on his pack. So does Josh try to reach in the bag or in the pack?
They're attached to his backpack.
Yeah, do you have like anything like hanging on the bag, like a cup or like a spoon?
It is a plain frayed burlap sack that is like really misshapen.
Oh, frayed is even better. Are there any loose loose threads?
Yeah, sure, I'll say.
Okay, so Twine will eventually get distracted and grab a loose thread and try to take as much of it as he can while you're walking ahead from him. So you probably feel a little tug from Twine grabbing the loose thread.
Ah! Who are you?
And so when you turn around, you see a relatively
I'm
tall...
gonna spin around, and I'm spin around, bald dwarf, giant handlebar mustache.
Yeah, and, Twine is like a 6 foot tall black tabaxi with kind of some white splotches and white patches, like very brightly a white piece that's peeking above his armor. Probably the immediate thing that you notice is that on his head, there's a skull on his head that he's wearing kind of like as a cap. And you're not quite sure, but it might be a human skull. But then there's like bones and all kinds of things that he's wearing all over the place of small woodland creatures. His eyes have paint around them that's like a deep green that matches his armor, but his eyes themselves are like a deep violet. And he's currently just trying to pull a thread out of your burlap sack.
And you take your hands off for me bag.
Sorry, I thought it was free. Is it not free?
No, of course not.
You don't need it.
You Twine stealing cat.
Twine, that's my name.
What?
Twine.
You're named after a textile?
Well, part of a textile, yes.
And was your mother a cotton ball? Why would she name you Twine?
Oh no, my mother was also a tabaxi.
Well, what was her name then?
Oh, Snowpuff.
Why am I not surprised?
She's where I get the white from.
I see. Yes, I get that he's gonna tap his bald head. I get this from my mother too.
I tap your bald head and feel it.
It's lucky. Go ahead, give it to the
Yes, I'll rub it.
I shampoo with mop and glow.
Is that effective for cleaning? And then you notice like Twine's fur's really matted and like gross, and there's like Spanish moss like dangling in parts of his like little facial hair, and like there's random vines or whatever. Like he doesn't look like he cleans himself very regularly.
Yeah, do I smell him?
Maybe.
Okay.
He would be very swampy if you did.
Okay. Oh, you smell like the old country.
Oh. I smell.
You smell like the bogs that I used to frolic in as a child.
Oh, can I smell you then?
No.
Oh.
Please don't.
I back away. But then I sniff the air.
I will reach out at you smell mustache wax.
Nice.
I'll hold out one like giant mitt of a hand and offer it to you.
Okay. Twine will return the gesture, but it is very mechanical. Like he's studying the way that you are trying to shake his hand, and he's going to try to do exactly what you do, and so it's going to be very mechanical. Like he's never shaken a hand before.
It's interesting to meet you, Twine. My name is Jorge Hackenstein. I'm a traveling strong dwarf, but that's the trade profession name.
Jorge Hackensmite.
Aye.
I think I've got it. Jorge Hackensmite.
Aye, you may have heard of me under my stage name. I went by Furious George.
Why are you named after a stage?
No, Sure, why not? Listen, I'm headed to that town over there. Is that where you're going too?
That town over like this way?
Aye.
Yes, I'm going this way.
Oh, well, let's walk together then and keep each other company.
Okay, and then I will like walk very closely to you.
But how tall is
a little over 6 feet.
Yeah. I didn't know they made cats that big.
Oh, where I come from, all the cats are this big.
All right, so y'all are walking along, probably travel another 30 minutes, and you notice a cart overtaking you from behind. And when it catches up, it's a merchant cart, and he slows down and says hello.
Hi, how are you?
Twine bolts into the ditch.
Twine, where are you going? Where are you going? He's a scaredy cat, he is.
So I'm just like, I'm gonna peek over the ditch. I'm gonna let you do the talking.
Where are you headed?
Oh, we're heading into town. Well, I am. I think Twine might need to adjust a bit. But Twine, let's see if we can have a ride in the back of the car.
They let you do that?
Aye, you wouldn't mind, would you, sir?
No, I was about to ask if you wanted one. We're headed to Hommlet.
Oh, that's where I'm going.
Aye, it's where I'm headed as well. Come on, Twine, hop in the back.
Okay. Leaps into the back of the cart.
Okay, you jump in the back and you find that the cart is not, in fact, empty. That in addition to some of the boxes and barrels and stuff, there is another individual. And Ronnie, if you would tell us who we see.
Okay. My character, Naveen, is a dark-skinned half-elf, but he probably wouldn't know that right away. He wears a bright red bandana around his head and covers his ears. Very handsome fellow, and he knows it. He's very much a people watcher, and he'll spend a lot of his time very outspoken, but a gentleman. He's got like nicks and cuts all over himself from his time on a pirate ship, but he's a very well put together young lad to be so roughed up.
Are any of the boxes in the cart big enough for Twine to sit in?
They are all closed up. You could sit on top of one, certainly.
Okay. Well, Twine will sit on top of a cart, and then hold out his hand towards Naveen in the exact way that Jorge did and offer his paw to Naveen.
Hey, fine. Give me a hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. You can't jump into the cart on
Naveen
your
will,
own?
Naveen will lean over. I'll give you a hand, sir.
I thank you.
Are we giving hands? And then Twine goes into his bag and pulls out some small hands that he's carved off of small animals.
Well,
These are cute trinkets. You should keep them, though. I don't want you to give away your prized possessions.
Oh, these aren't my prized possessions. I'll show you those later, maybe?
Maybe later.
Why was it sinister?
Come on up, sir. I'll give Jorge a hand up and help him get him situated and settled. Where are you fine gentlemen heading today?
oh, we're both heading to Hommlet.
So am I. Apparently there's some work to be done here, so I'm always in for a nice, honest day's gold earned.
Are you how gold? How are you making gold?
Well, hey, DM, remind me, I want to make sure
You've been contracted to come to the village to help them with the bandit problem.
I've been having an issue with bandits, and they need people with certain skills.
I have those. That's why I'm coming. They said gold.
Maybe we'll be working together on this issue.
I don't trust other people.
That's a smart policy, actually.
Well, you're just a bundle of cheer, a lot of ye.
Is there
Get
anything
nothing to do
shiny
for you,
on
trust.
Naveen's outfit?
Probably nothing shiny. Maybe just
Y'all are
his
boring.
sword.
Oh, just wait.
Twine will sit very stoically on the bench and just stare ahead, like keeping an eye out on the road to make sure there's not anything dangerous out there.
Alrighty.
Yeah, Naveen's kind of just keep an eye on his new traveling partners. Where are you all
George, go ahead.
traveling from?
Well, I always live on the road.
The last place y'all were is Ostbark.
I'm from a swamp, but I went to the city at one point. I didn't like it.
I don't suppose I've ever been in a town for longer than 2 weeks. Well, no, there was the month.
Nomadic life.
There was the month that was New Hampshire, but that was a good thing.
Oh, the Forgotten Realms, New Hampshire.
There was the Lumberjack games. That was fun.
Alrighty, so the cart continues, and it's now about sunset, and y'all roll into the town of Hommlet. And the guy rolls up in front of a very large building and says, well, here's where I'm stopping and staying for the night. You'll probably want to get rooms.
Do they have rooms here for you, with you?
They should have a room for me. And if you're looking for rooms yourselves, they should have some for you.
Okay.
And you see, let me grab my DM's guide so I can give you the description. It's a large walled building with a square wooden sign showing a buxom and smiling girl holding a flagon of beer. And the sign says, the Inn of the Welcome Wench.
Now there's a sight for sore eyes.
Oh, do you know her?
No. I wish I did, though.
Well, maybe you'll get to meet her. She seems quite famous.
All right.
I suppose the possibility.
Are y'all just going to stay here on the cart, or are you going to go inside?
Make our way
Yeah,
inside.
Yeah, I'll make my way inside.
Yeah, I'll jump off the cart.
Okay, you go in the front entrance, and immediately in front of you is a large stairway going up. To the right of the stairway in front of you, there's a little open archway that seems to go back to a larger open area, and there's a desk to the right where there is someone working the front desk of the inn. And he says, "Hi there, how can I help you?"
We're a few adventurers here to help out with the bandit problem.
Oh, yes, the town elder said you were coming. Do you have your tokens?
You mean the little wooden thing with the house on it?
Yes, I just need to see it so I can mark you as here.
Aye, right here.
What magic is this?
And as you show him the token, he hands you a key and says, your lodging has been provided for by the town council. You will also have free food in the main room of the inn. However, any drinks are your responsibility. You are expected tomorrow morning at first light at the common house where the town elders will meet with you. He sounds like he's reading a script that he's memorized.
Okay.
I show him my little token with the 2 crossed swords.
You too get a key that is different from the one that George got.
I show him my token, and then I give him one of the little paws that I keep in my sack.
He looks at it. He looks at you. He takes back the key that he was going to give you and gives you a larger key. And he just takes it and puts it in his sack.
My key's bigger than yours. I don't know why that is.
It's not always about the size. Just
Aye, it's not.
Maybe it's because I'm bigger. I'm taller than you. I need a bigger space.
Oh, aye, that makes sense. Aye.
All right, what do you do?
I'm gonna have a nice big meal.
Okay, so the 3 of you walk into the common area. I need you to all make perception checks, please. Okay.
13.
Okay.
16 plus 4, 20.
Ooh. Okay. Okay, so the second thing you all notice is that the room is incredibly tense. And it seems there's about 8 or 10 people in there, and they are all either looking at this one individual, just blatantly staring, or are doing everything they can to not look at the individual. The first thing you notice is Jay.
You see, you only really, like, kind of how we're all set, you only see kind of the torso up of this extraordinarily pale, the violet par, the hair over one eye. She's got this linen kind of top. Doesn't look like anything else under it, but this linen top with a hood. She's kind of got the hoodie on. But then she kind of looks at all of you, looks away, thanks, looks at all of you, and then kind of gives you a subtle wave. And as she, like, oh, you know what, I bet they're the same thing. You see her kind of like stand, and instead of legs, it's just this 8 legs come out and this massive spider body. And she raises to her full height of 8.5 feet and just kind of waves again shyly and motions you over, and then skitters back down to the 2/3 of the table she's taken up.
And Ronnie, your character notices that they have a drink. It might be, it's a slab of raw meat on top of it, and a metal straw sticking into it.
That looks good.
So
Noticing that she motioned us over, I'll lean over to Jorge. Is that a friend of yours?
and we lost that one.
Oh, we lost that one.
Oh.
Fear and shock have gripped
I always
both.
think whenever we switch to him that he's pausing for dramatic tension.
I know, he's
I'm
just-
like, oh boy, what's Atwood
We
gonna
never know
say?
what it is. How many people are in the room?
There's 8 guests. There is the guy in the lobby. There is one bar, and there are a couple of serving wenches who are moving throughout.
Okay.
So the 10 active people in the space you are, not including Jay's character. And what's your character's name, Jay?
You can call her Zoe. Her full name is, let's see, but just call her Zoe.
Okay. By the way, what is everyone's passive perception?
17.
Oh, Eldritch Horror.
Zoe's a 17?
16
Okay.
for Twine.
Ooh. 14 for Naveen.
Okay. And Karen?
15.
Corinne?
Oh, you're gonna do it. I mean, it's like fine. That's the point.
Spider Hybrid.
Arachni.
Correct.
By the way,
Strider.
Atwood, what is your passive perception?
That's your perception bonus plus 10, right?
Isn't it 8 plus your
It's-
proficiency plus?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Only if you're
Uh,
proficient. Only if you're proficient in perception.
That is 9.
Oh, it should be higher than that. Or maybe
8
it's not.
plus 8
No.
plus my wisdom bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
9.
Okay.
He is singularly focused. Okay. Atwood, where did you drop off at?
Jay revealed himself to be a drider, or herself to be a drider.
Or
Eat-
something
drink-
like
drink-
that.
Drinking a steak.
Yes.
You see her, what she does is she kind of like, because she knows it's rude, she'll spit on the steak and you see it bubble and the meat just kind of turn into slop, which then she sucks up through the straw.
That's cool.
Thanks, actually.
Yeah. So I keep wanting to say grub, but Jorge is going to walk right up to your character, Jay, and just sit right down. And
You see her kind of make room for you. She's taking up most of the table, so she skitters up the wall a little bit. So she's like a 45-degree angle, but her upper half is just kind of sitting at your level.
This gets more and more disturbing, Jay.
You invited me here. You get what you get.
I'm not saying that I'm regretting it. I'm just.
and I'm gonna order like a full spread and like 6 beers.
Naveen's
Okay.
gonna hold back.
I'll
Mhm.
lean over to Naveen, who may or may not have known that I was standing directly behind him this entire time, and say, "Who let the horse in the building?"
That is not a horse, my good man. Do not try to ride that.
You don't ride horses where you come from?
We ride horses. We don't ride lady spiders. Spiders kill their lovers when they're done riding. So
They're the weak ones.
Twine's super confused because where he comes from, they do ride horses that are spiders.
well, why don't you go ahead and grab a seat? I'll fill the room out a little bit. Okay.
I'll grab a seat and carry it around and follow Naveen.
So is everyone like kind of just terrified with this?
Well, it's there are a number who are just like, it's a variety of emotions. There are a couple of people who look like they're absolutely fascinated. Like this is something. They're from the small podunk town, and the circus has come to town. Literally, in the case of Furious George. There are those who are discreetly uncomfortable and are doing everything they can to not acknowledge this thing in the room, and they're just drinking and doing their food and staying small. And there are a couple who are very warily watching Zoe, as if they are perceiving her as a threat that could explode at any minute. The bartender is completely nonplussed. He is the only person who is not freaked out by any of this. The serving girls they reluctantly come up to the table when the new people are join in. As one was brave enough to actually go up, but Zoe's order probably threw them for a loop of, I'd like a goblet of raw meat.
Listen, when the giant Spider Woman asks for raw meat, you bring them
and pulls a metal straw that they have brought with them. You know, it's like not my own. So Mary comes up and it's like, I'm Mary. Can I help you, gentlemen? You want anything to drink or eat?
Did Naveen go back over to the table? Because I'm following Naveen around, so I don't know.
This is before he's gone. This is before he's gone walkabout. This is so the ordering can happen.
Okay. I'll have what she's having.
You want a goblet of raw meat?
Is that not normal?
It's not the house special.
Oh, what's the house special?
Ale.
Oh no.
It's a very good ale.
I'll have the meat.
Okay.
Thank you.
You said your
You're
name.
welcome.
You said your name was Mary.
Yes.
Yes. I'll have 6 of that house specials, and on top of that, I'll have. Do you have fried chips in the bag?
No, but we have some roast mutton.
Aye,
Would you like some roast mutton? It's been cooked really nicely.
That'll do me just fine. I'll have some of the roast mutton and any potatoes or rice or bread you've got this one.
There's some vegetables normally come with it, like carrots and stuff from local farms.
Just pile it on. I have to eat. My body is going to digest itself if I don't eat some calories.
Okay, and you, sir? Would you like...
I'll have what she's having too. But can you put mine over the fire for about 15 minutes or so?
Okay, so the mutton, the roast mutton. You want the roast mutton. The roast mutton's very good. Okay, and would you care for your drink with that?
I'll have an ale.
The house special or one of the other local brews?
The house special.
Okay, we have one of raw meat for the
Do you have sauces?
No, not right now.
I do like sauces if you happen to have them later.
There may be some gravy from the roast mutton that we could pour over your raw meat.
Oh, could you bring that just in a glass?
Yes.
Thank you.
Who's the carrot here?
Yes, I can. And we have we have the roast mutton with lots of vegetables and 6 house specials and 1 regular roast mutton with 1 regular order of house special ale. Okay. Anybody need anything else?
Oh, do we have to pay you?
Yeah,
No. The people at this table are covered by the local council. That you should have been told that when you checked in.
Oh, but the drinks.
The drinks there will be a charge for.
Oh, and Twine will reach into his bag and pull out 5
yours
gold,
is not
and he'll hand over 5 gold. Thank you.
I'll say he's covering mine as well. Thank you.
Okay. And she takes it.
I don't know how much yours costs, Jorge, but you'll have to get yours later.
And Jorge is frozen.
I want to meet Karen.
I want to be Karen.
Yeah, right. Like Zoe.
Oh no, it's coming.
It's coming. Is she coming?
I can't hear you that well, Jay.
Hang on.
I'm
You know
low.
what? Yeah, hang on.
It might be just me, but
Do I sound good to everybody else? Or
It's a
Sounds
little
fine to me.
soft, but it's yeah.
It's a little soft, but it's not like I can't hear you.
okay. It it takes a while for her to like muster the courage, but she'll turn towards Naveen.
I do not think he's listening, but did the dwarf say that his body was going to digest itself?
I guess when you're made of that much muscle, you gotta keep your protein up, huh?
If I do not get the chance to ask him, that I know we just met, but if I do not get the chance to ask him, can you ask him? If he dies, can I just...
And I like rattle the straw.
It's a pretty personal question. I think we should get over ale before we start digesting each other.
He doesn't mind if you touch his head, though.
Aye, right here.
He missed the whole conversation.
Probably for the best. We don't want to freak him out. So.
Well, they were whispering, so
As she strokes Jorge, I just kind of nudge him and like, "Hey, can I just and I'll try to whisper to him like, I think she looks at she sees you as a pretty meaty snack there, buddy. Just keep that in
I'm
mind."
not no, okay, you are paying attention again, listen. We just met, but you are all here to kill the bandits, yeah?
Yeah, we're here to help out with the bandit problem.
To help, not, I mean, if we could avoid killing it, it'd be nice, but I'm not opposed to it.
This is fair. The only reason why I asked you, you seemed like you were lost in thought. Like your mental bandwidth had dropped low. But you said your body was going to digest itself. I just thought, if you die, you waste not, want not.
It's a fair question.
I'll be dead. I don't care what happens to my body after that.
Is it okay if I call you all friends then?
I've never had a horse as a friend, so yes.
Again, I don't think she's.
Immediate. And she doesn't know what to do with her hair too, so in her face.
There was a girl like you who worked on our trapeze act.
Really?
Aye.
This makes sense. You wouldn't need the trapeze.
So you're familiar with our spider friend, or at least types like her, Jorge.
I've met one.
It's gonna be an interesting group. Okay.
all right, everybody, roll a let's roll a nature check. Jay, you do not have to.
Oh, okay. I rolled a 17 today.
Is nature intelligent? Yeah.
I'm a ranger with a -1 to intelligence, so my nature's really bad.
How bad was your roll?
I rolled
He
a
called us-
0.
You've done it! You've done my thing!
Is it possible?
She's a horse.
It is.
She is a horse.
This is a ranger who called a spider a horse. We shouldn't be surprised.
I got a 17 plus 1, 18.
And that one?
I got a 15, which is down from the 16.
Okay. Ronnie and Atwood, your characters know that there are no of arachni. George has actually worked with one, so he has some knowledge. They are, even though they're the bodies of spiders and have the metabolism and digestive system of spiders, they're not inherently evil. There are good arachni, there are neutral, there are evil. They are not common around here, but it's the woods to the west have a lot of interesting creatures, so they're probably from there. So this wouldn't be something that it's completely out of the blue. You would go, oh, okay, I've Ronnie, in your case, I've heard of these. They're just another race that you just haven't seen before. So we're there. So okay, so Ronnie, you said that that Naveen was going to get up and
Yeah, I want to kind of peruse the room.
Okay.
Mainly because.
Oh, is this where we're grabbing a chair? Okay.
I'm just gonna politely excuse myself. Like, I'm just gonna find the bathroom, and I see that a lot of people are kind of freaked out with Zoe in the room. So I kind of want to fill people out and just start asking around. You know, like, you guys ever seen anything like that before? Like, what is going on? Letting spider folk in the taverns now? And
First table you approach doesn't even acknowledge you, and there are some of the ones that are looking away that are not like having anything to do with this. You have sat at the table and conversed with it, therefore you are tainted. So you get nothing. And these are good, hardy farmer folk, and you are a stranger. So good luck with that.
How about are there people who are kind of like just in the ones who were shocked?
There are a couple. There is one guy who is kind of pale. He's kind of skinny. He's, in our parlance, we would describe him as a quintessential. And he is ignoring her, but kind of shooting glances, clearly interested, but not being so gross as to stare. And there is also who is got a set of cards on the table in front of him, and he's got some coins there, and he's kind of just clinking them together. And he's one of the but it's more appraising than fear. So it's either one of those you would feel comfortable approaching. And there's also the bartender.
Is the nerd and the card playing halfling at the same table?
No, they are different tables.
Okay, all right. I guess I'll approach the card playing halfling.
Okay.
And I'll strike up the conversation by talking, you know, hey, how you doing? I'm new to town. I'm just here to see if I can help out with the bandit problem. Got some pretty interesting.
I don't know anything about bandits.
Well, I'll figure that out soon enough. Do you mind if I join you? I'm just trying to entertain myself for the night until we head off.
Only if you play. Do you play cards?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
And cards are only worth playing if there's money involved.
How much you want to put in the pot?
He is going to play you silver ante. So over the course of the next 20-30 minutes, you could probably play for about 5 gold worth of coin.
All right, I'll put 5 gold in.
Okay, and we're going to do contested roll. Do you have proficiency with gambling?
Is that a thing?
It can be.
If you have if you came with a gambling set with your backstory.
Or if you had like soldier experience with dice and stuff like that.
Yeah,
If
no.
not, it's going to be a contested intelligence roll.
Oh, intelligence. No sleight of hand.
If you want to try and sleight a hand, you can.
I definitely want to try to sleight of hand.
Okay. Sleight of hand.
Okay. Ooh, pirate gods, be good to me. Let's see. Come on.
It's going to be our first nat 1 of the session.
We've had a nat 0.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't at 1, but it was a 0.
It's not in
By,
-3, so.
by the way, 20s are auto hits. A 1 is a critical failure. Something interesting will happen from that.
Keep that
However, in Josh's case, referring to Zoe as a horse to their face quantifies as that. So I'm not going to have something else go wrong with that. That was just like, that's pretty much, they heard you? Yep, you called them a horse to their face. So, yeah.
I got
so
18 plus 5, or 23.
You lose.
Wow.
And they ask you, well, cards aren't in your favor. Would you care to play at dice instead?
You know, I've got a long adventure ahead of me, and I don't think I want to waste all my gold on.
We can play for silver.
Maybe tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night it is then. And he tips his hat to you. Roll a perception.
Oh, we lost that one. Roll perception. Fine.
I think we need to close some tabs. Hold on, my D&D thing is rolling really slow.
Jorge is like.
Let me get rid of Facebook.
He's just
And we'll get you in
passing
before
out.
too long, Grace. Don't worry.
Oh, I'm not worried.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Grace.
This is a sideshow for me. Just feel like I'm watching the circus.
And while you've been playing, Naveen, Twine has been standing behind you,
You said to grab.
watching intently.
He said grab a
And-
chair.
With standing there holding a chair. And what is your perception?
Mine.
No, Ronnie.
A 19 plus 4.
Okay. You strongly suspect that he was cheating. His sleight of hand is better than yours. But you don't know this for a fact. However, the thing that keeps you from accusing him is the fact that you realize that Twine has been standing behind you looking over your shoulder, and there's a very good possibility that he's been giving away the quality of your hand.
I
Why?
don't know if Twine would understand the quality of his
But
hand.
no, just like, it's like, oh, a pretty lady.
Okay. Fair point.
Diamonds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Twine can't
Yeah,
count
so you can't, you have nothing to directly accuse him on. It seems like y'all were both cheating and he won fair and square. But, you know, and so there's probably some professional admiration to each other that you guys have struck up a decent rapport here. So if you have any random questions you want to ask him, he would be receptive after taking the 5 gold from you.
Okay, let me mark off my 5 gold first. Lost fair and square.
I thought the goal was to get gold.
Yeah, I thought you were sitting at the table. So,
You
how about
said
that?
grab a chair.
Okay. So I appreciate a man who can play a good game of cards. It's an honest day's work compared to some things going on around here, huh?
Absolutely. I'm Fernock of Ferd, by the way.
I'm Naveen.
Nice to meet you, Naveen.
Nice to meet you.
Saying that bandits bring you here?
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here. See if I can help clean up a small town.
We've not heard anything about bandits, but the town council has been acting rather strange lately, so it wouldn't surprise me.
What do you mean by strange?
Well, there's 2 things. One, we get a regular trade through here, a function of 3 trade routes. And if you're going from here to Vobank or to the Ne'er-Div, you've got to come through here. And the merchant trains haven't been as heavy as is usual for this time. Second, there's been lots of stalking about by the Elder. He looks even more disgruntled than usual, which it's not unusual to piss him off, but he's been in a fury for a good couple of weeks now.
Who is the elder? Is this a member of the council?
This is a member of the council, and he is, let me pull my name up. Where are you? Where are you? Elder Weldon Wiss.
Wisp?
Wiss, W-Y-S-S.
Wisp. Well, what would get the elders Sorry.
Anything winds him up. He's not the most pleasant man. He just thinks just because he has the most money that he's the most important. Well, when the keep is finished getting built, we'll see about that.
The keep.
Yes, if you look at the map that I sent you, on the second one, there's this hill down there, and you can kind of see the faint outline
Gotcha.
of a canyon. They are apparently building a keep here as to be part of the town. So it looks like they're going to start charging taxes and that kind of thing, if you had to take a guess. Small sleepy town is suddenly proved profitable, and someone wants to profit off of that.
Has the town gone into any debt building this keep, or maybe?
Oh, it's sponsored by the Duke of Verbobank.
And this new tax collection maybe withdrawn the bandits? Maybe they know there's a...
Well, they haven't started taxing yet, but that's the supposition that once the keep is built, they'll start charging for protection. Now, there are some that say that these mysterious disappearances are actually something that the state is doing to serve as an excuse for why they need to be here. So, you know, whether these are actually happening or not, or whether these are just rumors, we don't know.
So it sounds like nobody in the town is aware of what is happening.
And you see Zoe, like if you looked at going past you quickly, because Zoe climbed backwards up the wall and is hanging upside down.
At which point you'll hear Jorge be like, "Yes, like that. She did that every show."
Every show.
And at this point, that the innkeeper comes from behind the bar, and he is carrying a big tray of glasses, and he brings one to you, Naveen. He looks up at Zoe and says, "You're still good, or do you need a refill?" Actually, sorry, take that back. "You're still good, or do you need a refill?" And for you, sir. And he serves the 6 ales to Furious George. "I apologize for the wait. Mary was in some kind of state when she came back. It took a while to get out of her what she wanted. So, my apologies. Even if this wasn't on the house, it would be on the house. But since we're still going to pay full price, can I get you anything else?"
It's now, thank you.
Go ahead.
I'm good. Do you need something, Lady Zoe? Naveen looks up.
No, I'm fine, but I do want to roll an insight. Just on the barkeep.
Okay.
Just because everybody seems very like, fuck the council. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. He is earnest. He has been innkeeping for a long time and has seen weirder shit than you. Your gold, the gold he's getting paid for is good. You're not trashing the place, so he's not having to have one of his boys throw you out. So until that happens, everything is good. He literally is. You know, the bartender that's waited, like in one of the downtime places, who's waited, you know, there for years, like Bernie over down at Lula's. You know, it's like, is this the best shit? Is this the best you've got? Let me tell you, and got drunk upside down and naked. You know, it's one of those kind of things. So so he drops off your food and drinks and heads back. Meanwhile, at the big table where George is sitting, one of the guys picks up from one of the other tables and comes over and plops down in front of you.
I am working on my third beer at this point.
Okay. It's a large guy. He's got tattoos. He's not wearing it, but he looks like he carries himself like he's worn armor before. Big dagger on his belt. and he sits down in front of you. So, you think you can drink?
I'm not.
And he's pretty
gonna,
muscular, nowhere near close to your build, but he's a pretty stout dude.
I'm not even gonna acknowledge him.
You scared to take me on, little man?
Laddie, I know I can drink. I don't need to think about it.
Would you care to put money on that?
No. I don't get your people not in the cities yet. All of you out here think that drinking's some kind of game. It's not. You drink so you can forget, and the game that's the prize you win from the game is that you can sleep.
This man seen some shit.
That's my next tattoo. Like,
So you're not interested to see which of us drink more?
Why would I be?
Huh. And he gets up and he stalks off. He looks over at Naveen and just doesn't even waste his time. And he goes stalking out to the front, and you hear him clomping up the stairs.
Did he leave his like flagon of ale sitting on the side, like on the table?
Yes, it's empty.
Okay, Twine slowly like pushes it off the table.
We don't like that guy.
It clunks on the floor, and the other serving girl comes running up. Oh, thank God nothing spilled. I'll take that out of the way. And she swings by George's table and grabs the 4 empties that are there now. And would you be caring for more, sir?
Maybe one more, I think.
All right. And she scurries off and then comes back with one more ale and takes your 5th empty away with her.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything anybody else want to do before we call it an evening?
I'd like to just chat Zoe up a little bit.
Okay.
Just like, so what? I mean, aside from the little banditry problem, what brings you out here?
I was approached by another dwarf. I know this seems implausible, but I am apparently extraordinarily hard to kill. So I was asked to come from the mountains and take care of the bandit problem, or at least look into.
Well, that's a good reputation to have.
I'd rather have that than easy to kill, because then I would in fact be dead.
No, and I don't. I mean, I know it's a one shot, but Rob, tell me if I'm overstepping. Like, can I come up with the name of whoever I worked with in the circus real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, did you know Choir? She was like you. She had red hair and was very, very pale.
can I roll a history check?
Absolutely. It is. I leave it completely up to you whether you choose to know her or not.
Can I say the juxtaposition of your 2 voices there, Jay? It just kind of threw me for a second. I had to readjust.
16. And with that, I think I got something.
Say the name one more time.
It was Clio. I could never figure out how she spelled it. It was like lots of curves and like lines that I'm just not good at that.
That was one of my cousins. There are 10,000 of us, so it's hard to keep everybody's names. But I do remember we played together as children. We ate hobgoblins together. It was a bad meal.
Aye, she did mention that. Never tried it myself.
leaves you horrible indigestion. You will paint the mountainsides different colors.
No.
It's like the last time I had a black pudding.
The perfect way to, I do not know what the dwarf equivalent is, but ruin your web.
I call it the cold brown.
For us, it is the painful white.
I'm gonna kill you.
This was us backstage for show after show after show.
Yeah.
This continues.
Yeah,
Get out
absolutely.
for like an hour and a half.
So bonding happened.
Yeah.
And so yeah, at the end of this, y'all call it a night. Y'all go up to your separate rooms. Twine, you actually have a suite. There's others of you. It's a nice private room. There's a chest where you can put your stuff. There's a chifforobe, a little desk, nice sized bed, relatively clean.
Like a suite with a bath, like a tub, like included.
Tub is not included,
Okay.
but there's a little sitting area. It's kind of like an L shape, and there's a sitting area, kind of common area, and then in the L is where the bed is. So there's a little bit of
Yeah,
separation.
Twine falls asleep on the floor.
Okay. There's a nice kind of oval rug that if he moves the coffee table out of it, he could curl up on it pretty perfectly.
Oh, probably curled up under the coffee table if he could fit.
Okay.
Oh, that's adorable.
I got the
Alrighty,
suite, and I don't even use it.
It is the next morning.
Can I say that like at some point in the night I'd cast a ritual spell and summon my familiar?
Absolutely. And what is your familiar?
My familiar is a barn owl.
Okay. Yeah, you can open a window and let the barn owl in.
I'm also gonna dump all of my spell slots into my store, my ring spell.
Okay. All right. It is bright and early the next morning. Yeah, we're told to be at the hall at the crack of dawn. Do you head there, or do you dither?
Jorge is going to get up like early,
Okay.
and I assume the inn has like a wood pile behind it.
Yes.
All right, he's gonna do like the Steve Rogers where he's like ripping like wood apart. Like he's gonna get his morning workout in chopping wood for the inn back there.
Good wife Osler. Good wife Gundagoot, wife of the keeper, is very appreciative. She's just making a regular gruel for everyone's breakfast. There's not a merchant train coming through, so she's not cooking better stuff. But she slides you a little bit of the leftover roast from last night, so that you actually get a decent breakfast.
I thank ye kindly, ma'am.
No, thank you. You've saved me lots of time. I hate chopping wood.
I don't like a morning without a good sweat.
All right, so you get up and head next door to the village hall, which is you open the door and you walk in, and it's a big, and I have managed to get my thing out of order. Pardon me just a moment. Come over here, and we are going to number 9. Double door in front. You open it up, and it's empty. There are a couple of benches kind of the side, and there's a big table at the front with 5 chairs on it, but otherwise the room is empty. Sitting at the top of the table, though, in those 5 chairs, are 5 individuals. One is a big burly guy who is dressed in plate mail and has a religious symbol hanging from his chest. One looks like Hagrid. There is a guy that basically looks like in his Moff Tarkin days, sitting in the center. There is a guy that is quintessential wizard. He's got the robes or whatever, but think Gilderoy Lockhart because they're fabulous. Really good material.
Yes.
And then on the end, there is a regular-looking guy with a sword strapped to his side and leathers on. Looks like this is an experienced fighter. So y'all have come in. These 5 are sitting there, and the old guy in the center is like, "Well, at least you're on time." Well, most of you are. Where's the 5th?
There's a 5th.
We are. This is 5.
There are 4 of you. There are supposed to be 5. Don't tell me one of you have got lost. Okay, come. Do you have your tokens?
Oh, the house.
Flashed a little token.
You're the house? You can't be the house. The house is supposed to be, I told my factor to get me a strong man. You are a short dwarf.
Oh, so it's
You
going
can
to be
hold us
like
quicker,
that, is it?
His body is digesting itself. It's probably pretty strong.
I'm going to stand up from my seat and get no taller.
There's no there are no chairs for you, so you are standing in front of them.
All right.
Meanwhile, it's with y'all's passive perception, George, you don't notice this, but everyone else do. It's a competition between the Hagrid-looking guy and the priest as to which one of them is doing a poorer job of the fact that they're hiding their laughter.
Is there a? I'm going to point to the guy who said that,
Yep.
and I'm going to say, "You're going to be the one who pays for this." And
I am the guy who pays for this.
Is there a lamppost or a mailbox like anywhere nearby?
No, there's a couple of benches, the table they're at, and the chairs they're sitting on behind it.
Anything?
This is obviously a new construction. This is a new addition to the town, and they obviously haven't done their FF&E budget yet.
Okay.
Furniture and fixtures, quick, for those of you who've never run a project.
So nothing affixed to the ground.
No, you could pick up one of the benches and break it in 2 or something, but that's about.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I'll do that.
Okay. Why would you do that? Why is he doing that? And the fighter, the guy in the end, the fighter looking like, can we just get on with this? Which one of you has the sword?
That'd be me.
Can you handle a sword?
Can I handle a sword? Let's just say I sailed the open seas with some pretty rough individuals.
Then I am satisfied.
You can sail on a sword?
Just
And
They must have given you the book
they
twice.
look at you and the priest goes, and what's your token?
Oh, I have a lot of tokens.
the one for this. Don't pull out the hands, please.
The wooden
He
one
puts
that,
the hands back in his pocket. It's a tower.
and the priest and the haggard-looking guy lose it. They are in hysterics. And the mage-looking guy, can you cast spells? Can you do magic? Are you a thaumaturgist or an evocator?
I can do magic.
Okay, at least I got some part of this right.
Do I need to do it now?
Bam! The door slams open.
Twine bolts to the nearest shadow, like hides.
Rob, should I describe my character?
Yes.
Okay.
Sitting in the door, framed by the dawning light, so that they are heroic backlight.
What you see before you is a halfling woman, particularly stout. She has blonde haircut, kind of in an asymmetrical bob. She has tinted glasses that are pushed up on the top of her head, like an upturned nose, like a little bit of an aggressive face, perhaps. She's got a lot of rouge on her cheeks, more than would look good. Just like pristine white pants. And she is wearing rose gold armor that is engraved with, it's got a monogram up top, and then it says, it has in cursive, if you know Halfling, it says, too blessed to be stressed. So.
Oh dear.
So she comes in, and you like this armor. It is so loud that you might have heard her coming before the door even opened. So she walks in, it's just squeaking like horrifically. You go, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm late. I swear, I go to the HOA meetings all the time, and I am never this late. This never happens. A bunch of kids were playing ball in the middle of the street, and I had to stop because if I walked by them, I mean, my life was in danger. What if they hit me in the back of the head? So I had to talk to them, and then I had to talk to their parents, and that was a whole ordeal. Anyway, could you just repeat everything you've already said, just for me?
Oh, no.
The priest looks at you. I'm trying to remember what does your token look like?
The blazing shield.
It's like, you have a blazing shield, don't you?
Yes.
I guess you're mine. And the haggard-looking guy has lost it. He is in hysterics. He's like, your factor. Which is why I use my own means. Hi, pleased to meet you. I am Jeru Ashtaff, and he holds out his hand to Zoe.
And I very, very lightly, nervously shake it. Give a smile, and I'll wiggle the.
You have heard of him. He is a druid that, because your totem is actually a carved bear, not one of the markers like everybody else's. So he is a known entity amongst the non-human settlement as being a understanding person. He is known for wild shaping into a bear.
Nice.
So
and I would have known of him, right?
Yeah. It's the person who contracted you would have said, Jeru is looking for someone. He's got a problem. Would you be willing to come? Help this human town because it is predominantly human. There are a few halflings and others, but you would be the only non person kind of thing.
Then I will very graciously give him a two-hand shake.
Great, thank you. And he's like, well, it looks like we're all here, so why don't we get started? And that's where we're going to take our break.
Okay.
All right.
So each one of the counselors summoned one of us.
Right, and from what you can assume is that the factor in the town was literally took them at their word. The magic user, the wizard wanted somebody who could cast magic. So he found a ranger who can cast magic. He said he wanted a strong man. And so instead of getting a strong man, he got a circus strong man. Jeru is the only one who got what he was expecting. But so far, the elder tends to be, you pretty much have, cisgendered old white guy who's probably a little, as they say in Avenue Q, everyone's a little bit racist. He's not just a little bit. The fighter on the end is just, all he cares about is whether you can do the job or not. The priest, good sense of humor, seems to be a good guy. He and the druid are clearly not in competition with each other. And the Gilderoy Lockhart, you haven't quite put a finger on yet, other than he's exasperated. But whether it's with you or the other guys, you don't know yet.
Gotcha.
So let's take 10.
All right, thank you, Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Ty.
Tim.
Thank you, 10.
All right, so welcome back from the break. I'll pass it on. There you go, Rob. Take over.
Alrighty. So the Elder Village Council, which consists of the village elder, a druid, a priest who is in full armor, which clues you into the fact that he is of the Order of Saint Cuthbert. Cuthbert is popular with the lower class working men because Cuthbert was a peasant who saw evil being happening. He picked up a wooden stick and then proceeded to beat evil. And later on, as he rose through ranks and eventually led for a purge of evil. But his thing was, he basically Roosevelt, speak loud but carry a bigger stick. So he is a man of the people, but warriors also follow him because he was a fierce fighter. And his priests all wear armor instead of the robes, they wear armor. And so you can tell this is the high muckety muck because he is in plate versus scale or ringmail or something like that. So there's a fighter on the end, and like I said, the wizard. So Jeru is leading the conversation. He says, okay, so down to business. Welcome. The reason we've called for assistance is that we are having a problem with caravans disappearing. We suspect bandits, but the odd thing is we don't know because they're not following regular form. This first started happening a couple of months ago. There was a caravan that was due from near Div. They didn't show up, so after a couple of days, we sent a couple of the local militia out to check it out. They were able to go all the way to near Div and found no signs of anything. They just disappeared. So there wasn't wreckage, the normal sign of banditry that you would expect. There were no bodies, no nothing. And then another caravan disappeared, this one coming down from Verbobank. And over the last 2 months, there's been 3 or 4 disappearances from each of these roads. Not enough because we get daily traffic of multiple caravans through, so it's not a huge amount, but it is noticeable. And we want to get to the bottom of it, and in all cases it's the exact same. There is no evidence of anything having happened. And that's why I sent for you from Ostberg and from the Western Land from Yuzo, is because that's the opposite side of where all these things are happening. And although we do have a local militia, it is mostly made up of farmers and stuff. And while we have Rufus and Byrne here, indicating the fighter and the magic user, they are needed here to help supervise the building of the fort. So we can't spare them. So we have asked for you to come in and solve the problem. Is to find out who is causing these disappearances and either bring them to justice or eliminate them, whether it be man or beast. And fortunately, we do have a witness. A person showed up 2 nights ago at the local inn that had been part of a caravan. He was one of the drovers, and they had stopped for a break, and he'd wandered off in the bushes to take a piss. And he said that he heard a commotion, and peering out saw a group of soldiers in black tabards with a golden eye on it basically round everybody up, truss them up, and drive the wagons off. And after they disappeared, he ran all the way to town and got there at night and showed up at the inn. He was a little too winded and stuff to go into details, so we were going to talk to him the next morning. And then I decided that best so as to not prejudice anyone here is I took him to the Grove and have been waiting for you to show up so that you can quiz him. And so the Elder Whist is just like, and I don't see why we weren't allowed to talk. Yes, I tried to explain that. We didn't want to create any implicit bias or things. We don't want to do the investigation. We want them to be able to carry it out their way. So this is what I thought was best. And you weren't around to act. So there it is. Upon completion, evidence of completing your task, you will each be paid an additional 200 gold. And you may keep the trade goods that you recover are to be returned, but any personal items of the bandits you may keep for yourselves or sell off or do whatever you want as an additional reward.
So, the only thing we know about this is that they took the prisoners with them.
Yes, and we do have from where this person ran. He gave us a rough time, so we have a rough idea about where the ambush took place. First lead of any kind. So based on that, there are a couple of possibilities for where these people may be hiding out. There is a swamp, there is a wood, and on the edge of the swamp is an old moat house that used to belong to the former lord that was, well, he got into some things that he shouldn't. And the local crown took care of that. The moat house has been abandoned ever since, but there is, that is also a possibility for where someone could hide out with a decent amount of people and actually there are trails there that they could get wagons to. So we recommend you start at the site of where the disturbance took place, but the investigation is yours.
I'm so sorry this is happening to you. I remember when we had raccoons get into the neighborhood and they started getting in all the trash cans. So I really get it.
Yes.
I'm so glad that we have you.
Thank you.
Do y'all have
You got hot.
Do you have any questions for us? One other thing, not many people in the town know that caravans have disappeared. There are a few that suspect it, like our local traders and the moneylender, but we don't want to panic anyone. We don't want to people to think that our trade routes are unsafe. That would discourage trade. So your discretion is appreciated.
Inside check.
Mm-hmm. Roll it.
I rolled a 25, and I'm specifically trying to see if there's like any guilt in his voice, or I guess like,
there is not guilt. You garnered that when he said that it might discourage trade. That is directed at someone else on the council. That those are not his words, but he's agreed to encourage the discretion. So it's not a stretch to think that it's the elder.
Got it.
Is the one that is going, you can't do this. It's not that he's disliked by the others on council, but it's clear there are some dynamics there. He is an elder, he is respected, but the priest and the druid get along really well. The fighter and the magic user are a pair. They seem to be of like mind, and so he's kind of the odd man out. And so sometimes you can see, being factions that he's, depending on which way he goes, if there's conflict, that he's the decider, and so they have to be nice to him because they may need his vote.
Cool.
Anyone else have any questions?
How shiny is Karen's armor?
It's pretty polished, I'd say. I think she does a good upkeep on it. It doesn't look expensive, but perhaps she has polished it enough that she thinks it might come off as expensive.
It's like a freshly polished, it's a freshly waxed SUV.
So
If she could have a Range Rover, she would.
Kieran really scared Twine when she came in, so he was hiding in a corner, but he would like to stealth up behind her.
Roll a stealth. And Grace, roll a perception.
Take that Beer Bradley handbag.
It's a 23.
I rolled a 25.
Okay. So
You totally have eyes on the big
yeah,
cat.
so Twine will on all fours is kind of crawling forward through what he thinks is shadows, and will come up behind Karen and is intently looking over the armor and seeing if there's any loose threads or any shiny objects.
No, personal property. Don't infringe on my rights.
What is personal property?
This is mine. Don't touch me without permission. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Take a step back.
May I touch you?
No.
Oh. Okay. I'll take a step back.
My son always wanted a cat. We didn't let him have one.
Cats are dangerous.
I'm more of a dog person.
I'm getting triggered. It's too good. It's too good, Grace. It really is.
Twine will stay very close to Karen, but exactly one step away from her.
Okay. Well, if you have no further questions, would you like to go speak with our witness?
Yes, where is this man kept?
He is currently residing in the Grove. And Giroux turns to the council. It's like, I don't think we all need to crowd in there and be overwhelming. So Byrne, why don't you come with me? And we will be there and serve as the council witness for their question. And he agrees, and the elder is just like, fine, I had other things I had to do anyway. He says, nice to meet you. By the way, stop by and visit the church. If in the course of your work for us, should you suffer any injuries, we will do healing for free. If it is something more exotic, such as curing a curse, resurrection, we will have to charge you for that to replenish our scrolls that we use, because that's beyond my ability or my assistant's ability to cast. So we do offer those services. You, just like members of the local community, are welcome to them. But be aware there may be a surcharge.
I can totally cast magic.
I'm trying to convince us.
I am glad to hear that. So with that, they get up, and Giroux and Byrne is the wizard, are going to lead you out. It's across the street past the blacksmiths, and you walk up into a grove of trees, and in there is a nice wooden house. And Giroux gets to the door, and now for you to see our witness. And he opens the door, and y'all walk into this thing, and stretched out on a table is a peasant-looking guy. He's in work clothes, obviously a drover, some leathers. He is dead, and there is a dagger sticking out of his chest.
Oh,
As you see, questioning him is not going to be quite as easy as we let on. The reason we wanted you here before we shared this, well, Byrne, and Byrne steps up and he's like, it's very simple. This man showed up, He showed up at the inn. He let it known that he saw what happened. We agreed to talk in the morning. And when I went over first thing in the morning and went to his room, I found him like this. Clearly, there is someone in league with the bandits, or whoever they are, here in town. There were only about 8 or 10 people who saw him arrive, so we have a suspect pool. But some of those people include other members of the council. I found the body. I used my magic to clear the scene and get him out. Jeruz was conveniently not in town when it happened. And his place is also within distance of my magics for me to step from the room to his place. And so I took, upon his return, we consulted, and we felt it was best to keep it from the other council members, even though it did create some tension.
DM, would I know with my thieving background or my pirate background if there's a local like thieves guild that operates? How does
You do not know of one, but you have not looked around to see if there are any thieves signs anywhere. There was not at the inn or the village hall.
Okay.
But it would not be out of the realm to suspect that in a major trade center or a trade center where lots of caravans come through, that it would make sense for somebody to be around.
Right. As we go about, I just kind of keep an eye out. Maybe when we get into like more populated areas, I might throw some like
with your passive of 14, unless it is a hidden sign, when one comes up, you would notice it. So I'll flag you if you come across one.
Cool.
And so y'all are sitting here looking at this dead body with a dagger sticking in its chest, and
supposed to look at the dagger.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same.
absolutely.
Twine will lean over to Karen while they're looking and say, when are they going to start asking him questions?
Oh no, honey. I'm gonna take Twine aside.
I'm also gonna hold Zoe back and just be like,
It's the dramatic.
So while we're waiting for Atwood to return and to tell us what, Karen and Twine, y'all can have your sidebar.
Honey, did your mama tell you what death is?
Yeah, but he said it would be hard to ask him questions, so I just assumed it was like, more difficult.
We can't ask him questions, right? Because he's dead.
But they said that it would just be hard, not impossible.
So what they meant was impossible.
Hard means impossible.
No, well, not much of a scholar type myself, but sure, that's what they meant.
And Grace would know speak with dead and stuff. So, he's
When she says that he's dead, Twine is gonna take a step back and sit down in the back of the room and pull the skull that he's wearing as a hat down over his face, which it does look like it's a human skull, or at least half of the human skull, with feathers and things over it, and his eyes start glowing, and I'm going to use primeval awareness to sense if there's any undead creatures within a mile of this location.
within a mile, no. Okay, what you were saying.
I was gonna say that I was gonna tell Zoe not to eat this body.
Too late, no.
It is, thank you, but it is dead. We would not be good to eat anyway. They have to be born.
That's good to know.
All right, Ronnie, put me in.
Oh, I'm supposed to roll that? Yeah.
Yep. Investigate the body. Yes, Jay?
I was going to say I'm going to investigate as well, but I'm going to look around. Because they said that the body was in here.
The body was originally found in a room in the inn, and Ern basically dimension doored from there to the grove with the body, so that no one would realize that he was dead.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah. Never mind then.
Got a 20 not natural.
Okay, dirty 20. Yeah, he's good and dead, and the dagger is completely unremarkable. It is decent still, but leather wrapped, probably by a dozen that look just like it over at the local traders.
Any wounds on the body, or?
No, just the stab is through the heart. So whoever stabbed him, and it's one blow, so whoever stabbed him knew what they were doing.
It wasn't a struggle, no signs of...
Nope, it was, exactly, there's no bruising, nothing under the fingernails, no nothing. Whoever this was, he was either asleep when he got stabbed. If he was awake, the person basically came from around behind him undetected and just straight in, or he knew the victim and the victim stabbed him straight away. But nothing, no sign of struggle or anything like that, and that's the only useful information you can glean.
Might have been a visit from the Lady of the Night. I mean, who else would get that close to a man and have his guard down?
And this is Giroux talking. It's like, well, not to disparage Gundagat's staff, but a couple of his girls have been known to take the occasional tumble, but they're not like that. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're not, but they're not the obvious choice. But if you wish to question them, I'm sure you can. Just be discreet about it.
Did they get hurt when they fell down? You said they took a tumble.
No.
I pull Twine aside. I'm tell you about sex.
Oh, sex. I know what sex is.
Great. I pull Twine back to the group.
Okay.
Poor Grace just has to educate all the fuzzy critters in all the games.
Rob, I want to make a medicine check just to see, like, if the entrance wound could have been, like, literally just straight on, be a slight angle, like someone came up from behind.
Okay.
Can I assist
roll your
him?
medicine?
Can I assist him? Because
Yeah.
I also want him to look for, or want her to look for poison too, just in case.
Yeah. Okay, so give the help action. So first is an 18. Second, dirty 20.
Okay. No poison. It looks like it was stabbed from behind. That person came around, and that they were left-handed, or they were using their left hand, just because of the angle.
Okay.
And it is a very precise strike right between the ribs. Like I said, someone who did it wasn't just it was you're dead.
I share that with the group, kind of the initial thoughts.
A trained killer, maybe?
A trained killer, maybe someone who... Well, you must hire a trained killer, yes?
Well, with all the workers in town and all the traffic through, someone could be one and we might not know them.
I turn to the rest of the group. I do not think it is possible to find out anything more here without further exploration elsewhere.
Maybe more information can be found in the room he was staying in. Has it been cleaned yet, or?
I don't know if it's been cleaned or not. However, it is one of your rooms. I conveniently made sure to so that you had everybody else in it before you got here. And He is going to say it is... Josh, it is the sweet.
Oh, okay. So passive 16. At any point, did I notice anything in the room that was out of place?
No.
I'll let them know.
That there was very little blood, and he used prejudice. That spell to clean up the. It wasn't like there were gallons of blood or anything like that because it was such a clean, straight through the heart. They did not pull the dagger out, so there wasn't the blah. And of course, it's since
The
Good thing I didn't sleep on the bed, I guess. Then. Twine will take the dagger.
Mhm.
Just take it.
Okay.
Can I go to the two guys and be like, has anyone like said a prayer for him?
Jeru's like, I said a small thing, but if you wish to add your own, I'm sure the gods would not frown upon it.
I wanted to make sure we had like a Lathander prayer in there, you know? Just like Lathander. I go over.
A real prayer.
And I'll say a quick prayer. I'm not going to.
Naveen will offer her his hand and like, can I pray with you?
Honey, yes. And I'll take his hand.
You
and I'll
just
make
made
it,
her day.
and I'll make it extra long.
Yeah. While she's distracted, Twine's gonna try to take something from her pack.
Okay.
Or he's leaving before this all goes to
Stealth or sleight of hand?
I'll do sleight of
Your preference?
Oh no, I'll do
and
stealth.
And you need to beat a 15.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a 24.
So what do you grab? You reach in.
Thread, rope, not rope, thread, twine.
I don't have a lot of stuff.
Or anything
Oh, you
shiny.
grabbed something. Okay, you grabbed something. It feels like twine, and you pull it out, and it's a little sign with like a little like twine, like so it can hang, and it says "Live, Laugh, Love."
Okay, I take the twine off, and then I just toss the sign to the side.
Do I notice by this point?
Roll perception. And Josh, roll a stealth.
Stealth? Okay.
No, it doesn't matter, Josh. It super doesn't matter.
18, yeah.
I know. Roll a 3.
Oh, never know. Josh could roll a 1, so.
Yeah.
But he didn't, so you do not notice this.
Twine will wrap it around his wrist.
Rob, just for DM purposes, what happens if I don't have my holy symbol on me and I try to cast a spell?
You can. I need to look into that because it acts as a focus.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say is either it takes you longer, it's not as the efficacy is halved, or something, or there's a greater chance of it going wrong.
Great. Cool. Because that's on the table.
What if it's the secret tramp stamp she got in the Cancun?
the butterfly.
Yeah.
That's her holy symbol.
I noticed twine.
George, Zoe, and Dean, roll your perceptions. See if you notice.
I mean, I was leaving the room, but we'll see if I stuck around long enough to see.
19.
Jeru and Byrne do not.
19
So
as well.
would have seen it because I rolled an 18.
Yeah, I
I
got a
rolled-
19 as well.
I rolled a 3.
Oh dear. He left the room, right?
As a matter of fact, not only did Jeru not see it, but he steps on it
Oh.
because he rolled a natural 1.
Oh no.
Oh.
There is a crunching sound.
Oh no!
He looks down and goes, "Did somebody drop this?" And he holds it up and
Oh no.
I start
By the way-
crying.
Oh, that,
Hysterically.
that's terrible.
Zoe has been, like, while they were praying, Zoe has been, she lit a stick of incense and has been waving it around.
Yeah.
And
As George is leaving and he sees this all happen. He just says over his shoulder, "You'll be in my thoughts and prayers."
But it looks like it's religious, but she's just trying to get rid of the smell, and she'll like casually like trap toy wand, just kind of wave it over a sign and start to skip it over.
I'm trying to see if I have mending.
What is it made out of?
Wood. Like driftwood.
Wood. Okay. Hang on, let me
Driftwood.
look up
locally
a couple of
sourced.
things.
Yeah, well, it perhaps is wood that is treated to look like driftwood.
Joanna Gaines found this sign somewhere.
No.
Exactly.
Byrne does not have that.
I do actually have mending, so I can fix this myself.
Okay, I was about to say, and Jeru will tell you that there actually is a woodsmith in town that might be able to peg it back together if you need.
When you mend it, I'll reach into my pack and pull out a piece of string for you on it.
Thank you. The Lord is already waking up.
Thank you.
Oh my
Can
God.
I roll a perception to see if I saw where Naveen pulled that string from?
Yes.
Okay.
Scott.
24.
Jesus.
Naveen, where did you pull the twine from?
It was, I guess, in my little side satchel.
Okay.
Jesus.
Twine will remember this.
It's the only thing he'll remember.
He's got a -1 to intelligence, but he'll
It's
remember
the
that
only
string.
thing. If anybody notices, there's literally like 2 giant wrappings of random colored twines around.
He's got
his
friendship
wrists.
bracelets.
Yeah.
So, I've examined the body. You've stolen Corinne's focus. Jeru has broken it. What do you do now? And George, you said you were heading out, and Atwood is frozen.
Yeah. We said we were heading towards
The room, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So y'all head back across the street. Twine, do you let them into your room?
Oh, I have the key. Yeah, I let them in.
Okay. So y'all are now in the room.
This is where I slept last night. This is a very comfortable rug. If anybody would like to try it out.
How's the bed? Why?
Oh, I don't sleep on beds.
Oh.
Oh my god, your back must be so messed up. I have just the thing. I reach into my pack. I pull out a little jar with a salve that looks like a really sickly green, and I go, you should just use some of this on it. You just rub it in to the area where it's sore, and it goes right in, right? Now, some people have said that it turns their skin purple, okay? But they didn't have the resilience you have, okay? I can tell looking at you. You got a great body, constitution, everything. You'll be fine, okay?
Corinne, you are so.
May I have it?
Yes, for the small price of 20 gold pieces.
Oh,
Can I?
that seems like a deal. And I'll hand it over.
It is.
I'll hand over 20 gold. Take this
Rob,
off.
can I make a medicine check or maybe
Never want
a, like
residue on your surfaces. The
No,
best
it's
is going to be doing with a used dishcloth. So switch to Bounty.
We have a mid-show advertisement.
Bounty now sponsors.
That had to have come from Grace, whether it did or not, based
It
on
was
her
me.
character.
It was me. I'm not going to let Grace take the fall for that.
Thank
It,
you.
it would fit Grace's character well, but it was not.
I was gonna say that
The
sounds
game
like
is
a,
me.
Jay,
sounds like
because
a
it is still closed up and you're just looking at it, your DC is 30.
DC is 30.
Now, if you can get her to open up and can smell it, that will go down. But just from a little jar, that doesn't give you a lot to go on.
Oh, I will open it. Because it's my jar now, right?
Yeah, it's yours.
Yeah,
I have
I'll
the
unscrew it because I want to smell it too.
Okay,
I'll
so
go beside him and take a whiff.
okay,
But even like either medicine or even survival, like
medicine on this
Got it.
case,
or
or
no, definitely medicine. 12. No, it's good.
smells like medicine. It's got a menthol smell to it.
Ooh, Twine will
So-
just catmint? Shit, Twine will just start rubbing it everywhere.
No.
Oh no!
You are going to suffer for the rest of the day.
On the shoulders, his arms.
1d4 damage every
I
hour.
love the enthusiasm.
It smells great.
Yeah, there's more in the line too. We should talk.
I'm interested.
I'm looking around.
And George, what are you doing?
Just kind of watching this happen, and I can't even be mad because God knows I've seen my share of snake oil salesmen in the in the circus. So it's amazing to watch a master at work, but it's like even crazier to watch one that like believes in shit. And so, just kind of like got the praising eye on it, but I'm just like, oh, you poor curious cat, you.
By the way, if you didn't already have it, both Grace and Josh would have gotten inspiration for that exchange.
God.
Okay, so whoever is investigating the room, roll your investigation rolls.
Can I do survival to check for like tracks or anything like that, like where people have scuffed furniture or whatever?
It's indoors on wood and polished wood and
Okay,
stuff
good.
like that. That's more of an outdoor thing. So there's no obvious mud if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's what I
but
was
as
going
far
to
as
look for. So I'm good. Yep.
That's a 19. I'm looking. Yeah.
the
window.
one thing that you find is the windows is unlatched.
Got
It's
it.
closed, but it is not locked.
I will open it up and have a look at the sides of the building's walls down, see how tall it is.
You are on the second floor.
Okay.
It would take someone with some degree of expertise to climb this, but it is not impossible.
Got it.
And like you could climb this, obviously. There's not loose tiles or anything like this, and the window does slide up pretty easily and does not make noise. So it is a reasonable you can reasonably surmise that this might have been a way someone could have gotten in.
I'm gonna leave the window open, and I'm just gonna like. It's gonna be hard to get my thorax through, but I'm just gonna like, and just go down the wall so I can look at the ground under the window as well around it.
Roll investigation again. Did anybody else score higher than a 19 in the room?
21.
I got a 17.
There's been too much traffic through here for you to really tell anything. There are tracks around, nothing that leads not like a track that comes directly up to this side of the building. There are some around the corner, but there's multiple of those. It's probably where somebody, people have kicked back and smoked, that kind of stuff. So nothing on that side.
Okay, I will crawl back in, but instead of going like right down to the floor, I will go up the side, the side of the wall, and then up to the ceiling, and just kind of get a better vantage point that way.
Okay.
Are there rafters in this room?
No, it's a solid floor.
Okay.
There's another story above you.
Okay. This Twine totally was up in the rafters if I know that sometime.
Should we go see where the whole thing went down?
This might be the better solution. I do not think we will find much here, unless someone found something we did not.
No, but you did a great job.
Did he say it was near the swamp?
Yeah, there's basically with the town, there's a road to the northwest, a couple south that splits off, and one to the east. This one was to the east, and was about an hour's run from town. There are some deep woods to the right, and there's a swamp to the left, and on the outskirts of the swamp is this old moat house.
I mean, shit goes down in swamps, guys.
Language.
Is there a different word for swamp in your language?
Yes.
So I'd only know that one.
Well, shall we go look at this spot?
Hey, let's be off.
Yes.
Are you going to walk, or are you going to get horses?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get a horse. Yeah.
For the rest of
Zoe
us,
excluded.
We
Yeah,
have
I
a
want to see the horse that lets Zoe ride them.
There's a horse.
The most,
on the
most
horse.
terrified. The horse can make great fun because it's utterly terrified.
yeah, we'll get horses. We'll say to Karen, like, I'd hate for you to muddy up that shiny armor of yours. Let's find a couple of horses.
How
Do
big
you
is
like it?
Zoe?
It's brand new.
It's
I like to show it off.
it's amazing. It's very nice.
Thank you. You
Tell
know,
you have a lot of pride in your appearance.
you are so sweet. You
Thank
know, I
you.
just got a divorce.
Run.
I hate to hear that. I really hate to hear that. That's
Oh no, it is totally fine. My husband was awful, but my kid finally went off to college, so we could finally do it.
some men just don't know what they're missing out on, right?
This is getting really weird.
I leave.
It couldn't have happened to a nicer person.
So,
The council to find horses, or if they're going to pay, because I'm not paying for a horse. We already
if you ask of Osler Gundagut downstairs, he says that the council was aware that you might need horses, and he's got some stabled out back that you can use.
Cool.
How big is Zoe?
Zoe is maybe, with her legs, she's maybe 9 feet wide and about just under 8 feet tall. Or just over 8 feet
She
tall.
rideable is what?
Like, the moment we get around, like, Twine is really uncomfortably standing near Zoe because wants to ask Zoe a question, but isn't sure if it's appropriate.
Like, you're standing really close to very sharp chitinous burrs, and I'm just waiting.
Can I?
I
Can
know
I-
what you are going to ask, but if you do ask this, I will wrap you in silk, let you marinate.
I didn't know.
Thank you for the consideration.
Thank you.
And she...
Twine will very uncomfortably mount a horse because he's never ridden one and doesn't know what it is.
Okay.
I mean, quiet in the circus used to charge for that.
All right, I need someone to make a survival check to get us to the right spot.
I'll do that.
And Twine, I
I'll
need
give
you
you
to make an
guidance.
animal handling.
Okay.
And I can assist as well.
Animal handling, that's a 14.
Better than I thought.
Oh, I have good animal handling.
And I can roll a survival. unless somebody
I'll
else-
assist you on the survival.
Cool. So roll. No, what are you doing? Well,
I give
I
you
rolled
guidance.
a 7. Oh.
Uh,
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
What?
That's your critical
No?
success.
I'm just.
You find the exact spot where it happened based on the estimate of where they are. And with a nat 20, you actually find the bush the guy was pissing on. So you have the vantage point, and it's a little, there's the road, it's a kind of little cleared space off to the side where obviously they just pulled the wagons over. to clear the roadway, and rest stuff. And with the 20, additionally, you do pick up some tracks that are headed off the other side of the road, and you can pick up that there's some kind of a faint trail headed that way.
Foot tracks or wagon tracks?
Wagon tracks.
Nice.
It actually looks, it's a bit overgrown, but you realize that this little side swipe is almost where people could, if they were going on the road and someone's coming from this other way, that they could pull off to let them clear.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of, it's almost emerging, but the brush has grown over and stuff, but it is, once you look for it, it is a discernible trail.
Cool. Yeah, I'd let the group know. You know, there is peace over here, but I do have a possible. Sorry, take off. I got myself. I'm sorry.
How did you get yourself with saying the word piss? Okay.
Because in my head, I see a spider Hermione Granger saying there's piss in this bullshit.
She's not wrong.
Yeah. But there is a trail leading this way.
A trail of piss?
Also, yes, but from wagon wheels. The councilman said that they took the prisoners, wrapped them up, and put them on the wagon and diverted the wagon. This might be where the wagon went, or at least the beginnings of it.
Well, let's head that way then.
Alrighty.
Love it.
And we'll call it an evening and pick up from there next session. Thank you all. If you have any suggestions for improvements, I am a little rusty and slow on the draw with some of this stuff, so
No, you're doing
I
great.
apologize for that.
You're doing great.
Love it.
Better than I would ever do.
I love this dysfunctional family.
Y'all put the fun in dysfunctional.
Me crawling on top of the refrigerator. I hate this family.
Alrighty.
All right. Well, thank you all.
And I've got,
Your subclass.
and if y'all don't talk to any of these villagers whose names I created, I will go. I will slap y'all the next time you see it. Just metagaming. There will be hints to what happened in the village, but you found everything in the village that you could at this time, unless you did some really weird shit, like casting detect evil spells and all that kind of stuff, and quizzed a bunch of people. Barring that, y'all pretty much did exhaust that trail. So
Yes, good.
All
Hey,
right,
Jay.
well, I had a great time. Thank
Yeah,
you so
thanks
much.
everybody.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Wait, what is your subclass? I'm curious. What is your subclass?